Hello, my lovelies. This is going to be our weekly shadow work. So let's see what we have, what's hidden from us on our journey. What are some things that need to come up for healing this week? What is our shadow hiding from us this week? All right, what do we need to know from our shadow side? All right, Knight of Coins. So I feel like you think you've missed out on an opportunity for maybe a job or a chance to travel or relocate. Know that anything that's truly meant for you is nothing that's ever going to truly pass you by, but that we need to get practical, we need to set some goals, and that we need to realize that if it's something we really want to change, that we need to put some things in place in order to start facilitating those changes. So that might be an obstacle for you. So start by setting some goals. The Emperor, so when he's in the shadow, he's somebody who's very cutthroat. He's someone who's quite arrogant. He's somebody who kind of cuts corners. He's not afraid to walk over people and really kind of get what he wants at all costs. So if you're in the ego, that's something that might need to leave this week in order for you to make some forward progress. I feel like there could have been a lot of competition. I feel like there could have been a lot of rivalry. And I feel like that if you're in this Emperor energy in the shadow this week, that you're somebody who really wants to win above all else. And that might be at your own detriment. So I feel like there could be some fierce competition and that you might need to soften that rough exterior this week and really kind of learn to be vulnerable. And that might scare you a little bit. You may need some inner work, some shadow work. That's why I offer it on the channel, so you guys can see maybe if the message applies, what you might need to focus on. You may have also cut a lot of people off and really retreated, and I feel like this is something that needs to happen if it hasn't already, and that you're kind of on hiatus, or that you're kind of taking some downtime in order to work on you. I don't know if this shows up very well. There's a little lantern here. Normally he's holding it. It looks like it's coming off of his turban here, but that you might hold the light in the darkness for other people on their healing journey, and that you might also need some time for yourself right now. So don't feel bad if you have to maybe ignore some phone calls, some text messages, if maybe you're not feeling up to socializing this week, that you might really need that downtime in order to actually recover, and that you have to start holding the light for yourself before you can hold it for others. Think of it like the oxygen mask on an airplane, right? What do they always tell you? You put yours on first so you can help others. It's not the other way around. You've got to look out for number one in order for you to actually be able to help somebody else. So keep that in mind this week. Don't deplete yourself 100% for other people. Start by pouring into your own cup. If you've got to cut some people off and do some shadow stuff, then do so. I do feel like whatever is hidden is going to come to light. I feel like if there's any sort of deceit or deception, that's going to be illuminated. If there's lies or trickery, we are starting to go into eclipse season here very soon, and so that will absolutely illuminate all of the darkness that needs to come to light. So keep that in mind. You want to play into good karma, not negative. We definitely don't want to have to keep repeating lifetimes where we're dealing with overcoming the negative karma that we've already paid out. So be on the up and up. Be truthful, be honest, be a good person. Don't be out there deceiving people, lying, cheating, or manipulating. I promise you the karma does come back to you. All right, the Nine of Swords. Lots of sleepless nights, but I feel like we're trying to finally break this cycle of overthinking, a lot of anxiety, a lot of repetitive patterns is what I'm getting coming through. And part of that, I feel like you already know, that you've already experienced, and that this is a cycle that you want to end. I feel like when you're in this Emperor energy in the shadow, that things are just a little heavy all the time. And I feel like that's why you need this time alone, away from other people, in order to really get to the bottom of what's going on with you. All right, so shifting your perspective is going to be huge. If you always see things as negative, or you always cry over spilled milk, or you're always looking at the darkness and you're not seeing the positive, That's something that's a cycle that we need to break. You have 2 5s back to back. That's completing a cycle. That's letting go of all of this toxicity, letting go of all the negative thinking, negative self-talk, the arrogance, the ego, that we're finally starting to maybe set some goals that help pull us out of all of this. There could have been a lot of deception in something as well, whether it was a relationship, whether you were deceiving yourself, whether other people deceived you, and that all of these things you're able to actually let go of and transform. So really learning to focus on the positive instead of the negative is going to be powerful. And then it looks like you are looking for a victory, but this might be a hollow victory if you get it through either negative intent or if you got it through some sort of ulterior means, especially if you're being very cutthroat with people or if you're being somebody who steps on others to achieve your goals. I feel like that is not going to work in this next phase of our life. What do we need to know? How do we find the resolution in all of these issues? We have a bunch of flippers here. All right, so we're looking for balance in our finances. So I feel like we need to set goals and that we need to make sure that we are on the up and up, that there's no sort of deception going on, and that we're not being completely cutthroat in order to achieve our goals. The reason we feel like we are in a place of lack is how we are achieving these things. So I feel like if we are being legitimate and truthful going forward, that we shouldn't have any problem achieving our goals, that it is going to take determination and hard work, but it will be worth it in the end. All right, we have the 5 of Wands again, and we have the 5 of Wands here. So really getting out of this conflict, the battles of the will, ego, competition. Be somebody who is ready to blow the competition out of the water because you stand out that much for the positive, not for the negative. So that might be something that you're really trying to work towards as well, and letting go of these conflicts that you're dealing with and finding the balance. I feel like the balance is going to come from within, that by doing this shadow work or going into hermit mode and reflecting on the things within you, because you cannot change other people, that actually works to create balance. You could also be waiting on some sort of decision through the courts that restores balance. Know that Lady Justice comes swiftly, and she comes with a sword in order to restore the balance. So you may have to cut some things off in order to actually achieve what it is that you want, but know that you will find that answer by doing the inner work and the reflection in your shadow work. The 9 of Coins. So I feel like all of the deception or the people that have deceived you, that have kept you up at night, that those need to be eliminated out of your life for a reason. In our spiritual message, it was about cutting cords. So this tells me that there is a lot of negativity or conflict around this manifestation of wealth that's supposed to be coming in, and why it's being held up is the company that you keep. So I feel like until that changes, you're going to keep dealing with these cycles of narcissists and negative people, liars, cheaters, thieves, manipulators, and it causes the anxiety and the sleepless nights. So your blessing is coming in when you finally hold up some boundaries and you finally let go of these things that have created the conflict to begin with. So remember that if you don't want these people to have access to everything, then you need to set the boundaries. Another 5. So 5, 5, 5. We have 5, 5, 5 in this reading. That could be very significant. 5 is symbolic of change. So your finances are changing for the better. They're going to get a lot better. So shift your perspective and see the bigger picture, see things differently in order to get there. Pages bring news. So there's definitely some news of finances changing. I do feel like for some of you, this could be the victory that you've been longing for. But I feel like right now you're at the planning stage. So you need to set some goals in order to actually get to this point. So what can you eliminate? What are some things that you can let go of that are creating conflict, or some things that maybe need some balance in your life, things that keep you up at night? My right ear is ringing super loud. So they're saying that you have to let go of what doesn't serve you in order to create the balance. What is our conclusion for this reading? You're burnout and exhausted. You definitely need some rest, so eliminate the things that you can. I feel like you're really looking for stability in your life. You want a solid, stable foundation, something you can build. It could be with the twin flame. 1111 might be another number that you're seeing, but it starts from within. The cosmic mirror tells us that we have to take a long, hard look in this mirror, face our fears, see the truth for what it is, and find out what adjustments need to be made. So don't be afraid of your own reflection this this week. I feel like you really need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and see what you yourself need some inner work or some changes on the outside. I hope it helps. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you soon.